Okay, what's good, y'all? Such is the theme. Every few years, I'll come onto my YouTube channel and talk about The Last of Us. I didn't do this for season one because I felt like there was no need to. Season one was just, in my eyes, a perfect adaptation of the game, Last of Us Part 1. Yes, they toned down a little bit of the violence and the action, but I think in doing that and translating it to another medium, them doing that actually landed pretty hard whenever the violence was built up over the season. So I've no qualms with season one of Last of Us HBO. I want to preface this by saying, A, this is going to be off the top of the dome. I don't got a mic. I ain't got any of my equipment. I ain't got a script for this. I'm just going. That's how I do on my YouTube channel. If you haven't seen my videos over years, which you probably haven't, I have a very low view count. But if you have, then you know that I just come on here and just spit. But if not, hi, I'm Nate. I make movies. This is my private YouTube channel that I talk about stuff on. Anyway, back to it. I don't necessarily have any I don't hate okay, I don't hate season 2 of The Last of Us. The more I think about it, the lower it goes for me, but I think if you want it on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd probably give it right now a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10. That's not bad. I just think that there were things that were done this season that fundamentally changed the narrative. And I'm not going to be saying anything new here. I bet there's going to be 8,000 different video essays saying the same shit. Hopefully, what I'm saying doesn't come off as me hating on the creatives of the show, the actors with the show, or anyone involved with the game, because, I mean, obviously, The Last of Us is my life. It's my favorite franchise of all time. I'm obsessed with it. And I'm saying all this stuff out of a place of love. It's just, and I love Craig Mazin. I just think this season they fundamentally messed up on the relationship between Ellie and Dina. And I think in doing so and trying to do something different, I'm going to use this word again, it fundamentally messed with the entire plot and the entire themes and narrative of Ellie's portion of Seattle Day 1 through 3. Yeah, dog, I'm trying to eloquently put this, and it's off the top of the dome, but I'm really just mostly, I don't know, it felt like this season missed the mark on the anger and the vengeance and the darkness that comes from Ellie. I felt like Ellie was dumbed down. She wasn't as smart as she was in the games. She was very kind to Dina, which, I mean, that's great and all, but if you know part 2 from the game, Ellie versus the show, she's not very kind to anyone. And yes, I understand we're translating different mediums, but this story is supposed to be violent. And yes, some very harrowing things happen to certain people, but I think the way they adapted it made it all seem accidental and circumstantial and not intentional, like Ellie was in the game. She was intentionally going through and murdering so many people. And the brutality that she puts into place with the people that did her wrong, yes, there's lessons learned in the nuances of the things that she does, but I think the show, I hate saying this because there's so many good things in this season. To me, episode 1 and 2 are 10 out of 10. They nailed it, episode 1 and 2. Episode 3 had some great moments, some great additions. I just personally didn't like the tent scene with Dina and Ellie. I felt like it kind of took away from Dina being very steadfast on what she wants. And I get they were trying to change the relationship dynamic, but this is the whole thesis of the video. You change that, it changes the whole story. Once you put the focus from, big spoilers, the death of Joel to this budding relationship in a revenge quest, that's what the show becomes about. It's not about Joel anymore. It's about Ellie and Dina, and then somehow about Joel. Somewhat about Joel. I don't know. And don't get me wrong, I really like, and I love Bella Ramsey as Ellie, and I really like Isabella Merced as Dina. I think they're perfect casting in terms of capturing the essence of those characters, but I don't know what was going on in the writer's room. I think maybe Craig wanted to do something different, and it just didn't work. I don't hate it. It's good television. That's why I gave it a 8. As a Last of Us fan, it goes down a little bit, but as a TV fan and a filmmaker, solid 8, 8.5 television. Like, if the game didn't exist, this would be great, but still, I don't know if it would land, even if I didn't play the game, as much as I'd want it to, because, for example, episode 7, the finale of season 2, Ellie, we get the scene from the game where Ellie and Dina are talking, and Ellie takes off her shirt, and at that point, she just finished killing Nora in the hospital, and she's been ran through, like, beaten the fuck up by everyone, has been beating everyone up. So when that happens in the game, it's a very emotional scene because she's been going through all this stuff. And in the show, when it happens, I think it's like still going for like that feeling like, oh, look at all this stuff Ellie's gone through, but I don't know, it didn't land because like she's at that point, she only killed one person, left Nora to die, so didn't kill her like she did in the game. And then later on in the episode, she doesn't even really mean to kill Owen and Mel. It's just an accident. So it's like Craig is trying to justify Ellie's actions and make us like her more, instead of writing with the nuance that the second game had, where it was like, you like this character, but you're gonna watch this character do some things that you won't like. And yeah, Ellie was selfish this season, but is that all we're going to walk away from with this? Is that she was selfish and got mad at Jesse? That's another thing I don't like. They changed the dynamic between Ellie, Jesse, and Dina. I think it was very smart and actually very fresh to do a love triangle like they did in the game, where it's like, look, I love the girl I got pregnant, but I don't love her the way you do, and we can still be homies and work this out together. I don't like what they did in the show. I didn't like it with Jesse and Ellie and Dina. And maybe I'm going to sound contradictory here, but it's not that I necessarily hated what they did with Ellie and Dina this season. I didn't. I think it's good. It's just, it ruins, for me, the focus of what's supposed to be Ellie's vengeance quest. Like, what really did she do? Like, she escaped a few infected a bunch. She killed one wolf and then accidentally killed Owen and Nora. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't land, because at a certain point earlier in the season, like around episode 5, I was still, a lot of the things they were doing with Ellie and Dina weren't landing, but I was like, look, if they're gonna do a slow build with the violence like they did in season 1, where Joel was doing a lot of violent acts, but it wasn't like in the game where he's mowing people down. You just get that glimpse. You know he's like that. And then at the end of the show, he's mowing through people, so it's like, damn, okay, I get it. I see what you're doing. It's a different medium. I thought that this last episode, we'd see Ellie just like, nope, mission. And yeah, she was like that to an extent, but I don't know. And I'm not trying to come off like, oh, I needed to see more action. That's not at all the case. I just feel like now we're at a spot where season 3 is going to come out. And if season 3 is fucking 10 out of 10 and adapts Abby's story perfectly, the ending, if they do a season 4 with Santa Barbara, which it looks like they're going to do, and they're going to extend the Santa Barbara stuff into its own season, I don't know how they're going to make that land as hard when Ellie's Seattle day 1 through 3 wasn't focused on Joel and Ellie. That's the big thing. And that's the thing that Neil has always said. The Last of Us is about Joel and Ellie, even when one of them is not in it. The second game, Joel's barely in the game except through flashbacks and at the beginning, but you still feel Joel there, even when he's gone. It's about Joel and Ellie. It's not about Dina and Ellie, and Dina, Jesse, and Ellie. And I think when you make the show more about that relationship, what's The Last of Us? Where's the focus? Why is it that for 3 episodes we're not even thinking about Joel? And then Joel comes up and it's like, oh wait, Joel, I forgot. That is where I think the problem is, because we need to be reminded at all times. The anger needs to be there up front with everyone, not just the people that did Ellie wrong, but the people that want to make sure Ellie is safe and the people that care for Ellie. Because with the game, the actions Ellie does and the repercussions of her actions make you realize everything that she needed was in front of her the whole time. But she fell into the cycle of violence that fucked everyone over from the start. So overall, I think it was a good season of television, but I think it missed the point of this specific part of the story. And I'm hoping that they nail season 3 and they nail season 4, so in retrospect we can look back at it and be like, awesome, that was a good season, not the best. It might have been a little bit lackluster in terms of an adaptation, but at least it ended good. So I'm really hoping that that's the case. I love this franchise more than I think I've ever loved any other franchise. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I'm a Star Wars historian. I have encyclopedias out the ass. I have almost every Star Wars comic and shit. I'm obsessed with Star Wars. I'm obsessed with Marvel. But Last of Us is my thing. I made a Last of Us movie. So if you are interested in Last of Us and interested in film and interested in anything like that, please subscribe to me. I'll try to be on here as much as possible. Can't promise that, but I will be on my company page, Silverlight Productions. You can look us up. We have a Last of Us trailer, 2 Last of Us trailers for a feature film that we worked on in 2020 that I've been working on the last 5 years. I'm a crew of 1 person working on a film that should be a few hundred people, so it's taken a while, but when it's done, I think it'll be really good. But anyway, I'm really hoping the best for the show. Like I said, I did not hate this season. I walked away a little bit conflicted, a little bit disappointed, but overall, there were a lot of beats that they adapted perfectly, and the general vibe was there, but it was just lacking the nuance and the focus of the second games from Ellie's perspective, at least. So let's hope that Seattle Day 1 through 3 from Abby's perspective is a knockout. Let's hope that Santa Barbara's a knockout. And shit, if they do a fucking season 5 covering the 3rd game, let's hope that's a knockout too, because we know the 3rd game is coming. Neil, I know it's coming. And also, y'all better know that my movie series is coming on The Last of Us. One way or the other, it's coming. Either HBO is going to pick it up, or we're going to put it out ourselves. So, y'all endure and survive, and see you at the movies.